Hey everyone, it's Nick from Nick's Crossing, and today I want to give you guys a small update on the layout and just show you what I've been doing through the last couple days. I wanted to post more videos this week. It's just been very busy either with work or just personal things at home. But right now, as you can see, I finally painted the wood in the back, right in the center bridge there. So all that stuff is painted black. And the previous two videos, if you haven't seen them, I recommend checking them out so you guys can see the progress of the layout. I mean, this thing's come a long way. I was looking at my old photos since September 16th. That's actually when I built the table. So only a few months. I mean, I've gotten this done and everything else. And what I've been really working on, and I'm trying not to give you guys the engine on my main track away. That's going to be the special for the run day today. But I was working on this mountain, like I told you guys. And I actually did a different process than what I thought. I ended up taking the large sheets of styrofoam, like the ones for my bench work or my underlayment, and I just ended up breaking it apart. And it seemed to work really nice, and it gave like an edge to it. And then after that, I painted using a spray paint, which was kind of a bad idea because the reaction between the spray paint and the foam, it tends to melt and it fumigates and it's real nasty. So if you guys do paint styrofoam or polystyrene, I recommend use a watercolor so you don't end up gassing yourself out or destroying your work, because I did have some melting right behind my chassis there. So once the mountain was done, construction and everything was painted, and I averted as much melting of the mountain as I could, I just went to town with the Woodland Scenics materials, and this stuff came out really nice. The ballasting I did previously, and you guys can see that in my first two videos now, that the ballast was there first, and this came out really nice. So the application process is pretty simple. I just use a metal throwaway brush, so to say. You can actually cut them, but anyways, I use like a glue from the dollar store called Jot, and it's like a knockoff Elmers glue, and I just use a paintbrush and spread it out, and then you sprinkle this stuff over very lightly, and you can kind of judge how much you need. It'll start to absorb, and you'll see the glue showing through the scenic material. And then after that, you can do like a slight dusting. You really don't want to put too much down because you don't want to waste material. Because of all the dust, dirt, and grime from all the construction on the layout, I really wanted to clean the track. And I wanted to show you guys what I used to clean the track. For I think this is like the best accessory that is probably in my collection, because it not only is a toy, it's like a tool. So I call it like a necessity for any collector to have some type of track cleaning device, because once the mountains are up and everything is set and pushed back to the wall, I really don't feel like climbing under there with like an alcohol wipe or, you know, contact cleaner. It'd just be a mess. So today I'm going to show you guys my Lionel Lines 3927 track cleaner, which I believe came out between the years of 54 and 1960. And it was the smallest track cleaner that they made in those years, because this one is not self-propelled. So it needs an engine to push or pull it. And for that job, I want my Chesapeake and Ohio 624 to do that. And the 624 is one of my favorite engines. I believe I showed it in a few other videos, but I haven't ran the engine. So it's a great runner. It's pretty quiet for having the, the E unit in there. And it has a couple cool features, like the couplers are activated through an accessory track. Also, it has a 3-position E unit, and also has the magna traction. And that's the main reason why I want to run this track cleaner with this engine, because the magna traction will help keep this car, once it starts waddling around the track, it'll keep it from flying off or being lodged or something. So this is like the perfect duo. And I ended up picking up the track cleaner at a local antique shop for, I believe it was like 40 bucks or so, and it just needed a little bit of work. Over and over, I'd go back to this antique shop, and eventually my girlfriend's like, you should just buy it. I mean, just get it and you can use it. And it's been such a help on the railroad here. And my 624, I ended up picking that up at a train show. 624 actually has a lot of wheel wear, and it looks like someone just ran it around in the same circle, maybe never changed their direction. It also has like a center roller that's kind of roached out, but I mean, this engine just wants to run. And I think I did a partial rewire, and I also painted the frame. So I'm going to put this pad down for the final pass. And there we go. Should be all lined up and ready to go. And this kind of cleans up any extra dirt left on or residue. So guys, that's the track cleaner. That's my 3927 and the 624 Duo here. And if you guys don't have one of these track cleaners or any other device, I highly recommend picking one up. I mean, this track looks amazing. It looks a lot shinier than before. It may not look like it on camera, but I mean, you can actually touch the track and there's nothing on my hands here. So on the freshly cleaned track number 2 today, I wanted to run my Strasburg Railroad number 1, which is Strasburg's Plymouth engine. And this model is actually really well detailed, and K-Line produced these, or K-Line by Lionel produced these, I want to say about 10, 12 years ago. They kind of went crazy. I saw a bunch of renditions of this engine, or this engine body with different road names, especially like Bethlehem Steel and a bunch of other like ore car sets. I love this thing. It works great, has awesome lights and fan blown smoke unit, has like a little plastic figurine in there. Someone online actually put a cruise commander in here so they could run it with their DCS or TMCC system, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, today I'm going to run this guy with these ore cars here that I believe 2 of them are K-Line. The larger ones are K-Line, and the center one there is actually Lionel. And they're just a little bit larger or so, but they're very similar. And the caboose for today, this is from Ready Made Trains, and I've never heard of them, but it almost looks like a Menards caboose from what I could find out. So on the top track today, I'm going to run my chassis system, Western Maryland U36C. And I just love this paint scheme. It's gorgeous. It is a weird looking engine. I haven't owned one of these before, and it's actually the first time running it. This actually came part of that collection that I'm still going through. And over here, I'm going to match it up with these chassis system B&O cars and the Western Maryland smoking caboose. And these cabooses are great. I actually have a... So guys, I can't really hide this much longer, but this is what's cooking on track number 1 for today. And this engine's beautiful. I mean, this is too cool for school. And this is the first J-Class engine I've ever owned that came in that collection from the other day. Even though it's a Williams model, it's still awesome. It's a great puller. It's all die cast. It does have the stock whistle sounds in the tender that are, I think Williams puts it in all their stuff, but I mean, it just doesn't take away from the engine at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, we're going to get to see this run, and I'm running it with my set of Pensy Madison cars that came with the GG1 that I'll have up soon, definitely around Christmas time. I wanted to do a video on like classic trains and stuff like that that would have been Christmas gifts back then, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to get these trains running in a second. So just as a word of caution, any type of Williams engine with a smoke unit requires Williams smoke fluid. And the thing is, they have a different system for burning their smoke fluid or vaporizing it than they would a K-Line or Lionel or MTH. So if you guys acquire a Williams engine, make sure to pick up their smoke fluid and do not get them confused. Maybe you want to label the box, because if you put any other smoke fluid in a Williams that's not Williams, it will cook it and it will destroy the complete smoke unit. So I manually hooked up the U36C, and it's probably the first time this engine's ever ran. I mean, it sounds like it needs some lubrication, but I think I can get through the run day without it crapping out on us, so to say. All right, guys, we got the U36C running up top. And it probably just needs to be lubricated. All right, guys, now we're rolling. All right, guys, now we got all the trains rolling at the same time, finally. want to thank you guys for joining me in this little run day and layout update number 3. So this Friday is actually really exciting. I'm going to the Strasburg Railroad to do some rail fanning and some walkthroughs of their buildings and things like that. So hopefully I can post that this weekend, give you guys something to watch over the long Thanksgiving weekend. And then that following evening, we're going to the Kozar's Christmas Village located near Reading, Pennsylvania. While we're there, I might look for some Reading Railroad type finds and such while we're passing the time. But I want to thank you guys for joining me, and please stay safe out there and enjoy this awesome weekend. Thank you so much.